Hello guys and welcome back to the Weekend Roundup, where if you've not been here before, we go through the Premier League as an in-depth and then over on a few other of Europe's top 5 leagues and how they've been this weekend, giving a team of the week as well, and then finally going on to a topic of choice. And this week's topic is a manager crisis, which we'll go into at the end of the video. But getting straight to the Premier League this weekend, there's a lot to talk about in the Premier League this weekend. It's quite an interesting weekend. I'm going to start with Forest Liverpool because there's a big thing in this Forest Liverpool game, but we're going for the game progressively. Elanga had quite a few chances in the game to actually score for Forest, but couldn't actually get there. Liverpool won the game 1-0. But we're going to get into that. As I said, we got a goal afterwards. Elanga really should have scored. He had quite a few good chances. There's one where he might have been offside, but we don't know. It was, up in the air. He missed a chance anyway. And it was saved by Kelleher. Kelleher had a really good game, keeping a clean sheet. And I think it might cause Liverpool a problem, depending on how Alisson is happy, depending on how Kelleher's happy. Kelleher's 25 now, and he'll probably want to start, getting regular football. And is he going to get that Liverpool whilst Alisson's there? Probably not. So it's a case of, is Alisson going to be leaving soon? Do we not? Is that something that Klopp knows about and is preparing for with Kelleher for when the new manager comes in after Klopp? Or is Kelleher, when this new manager comes in, going to do what Dean Henderson did when Ten Hag came in and go, right, I need to get my way out of here? It's one of them. We'll have to wait and see, I guess. But yeah, could be an issue there. The big issue of this game, though, it's crazy how it was not visible, but even more, was the fact that Nottingham Forest had the ball, and they got pulled back for a Konate head injury, which was caused by Kelleher, and then the play got restarted with Liverpool on the ball, and then Liverpool scored from this later, like they got a corner and then scored. It's a bit ridiculous. Núñez scored the goal. It probably shouldn't have been a goal. Potentially could have been a penalty to Nottingham Forest, but the game got all caught up, and I think the ref made a howler. I've actually not seen the PGMOL make a statement about it, but I can imagine there's going to have to be a pretty big statement about why on earth they made that decision. But it's not even VAR. It's crazy. It's insane. Chelsea 2-2 with Brentford. Visser scored an amazing goal. He tried it early in the first half. He tried an overhead kick, and in the second half he managed it. And he was just in the mood to score an overhead kick against Chelsea, because right now Chelsea are a laughing stock, and Poch has a problem on his hands. He really does. He looks like he might be out of the job soon. We don't know. Days seem to be counting down till Frank Lampard comes in as interim manager again, probably. But yeah, Chelsea really just have a bit of a problem on their hands, don't they? But we know that for a while now. Fulham 3-0 against Brighton. Brighton falling again. It wasn't a weak Brighton team either. This shows the issues with De Zerbi himself, as like he didn't always perform. There's a lot of magic in the air about Brighton, and sometimes when they leave Brighton, the magic kind of fades. And this 3-0 is a big win, and Silva's going on his run that he does every year. Marco Silva. I feel like this is the point where people are going to start rating Fulham now, because as I said in my previous videos, there's a part where people really liked Gary O'Neill, there's a bit of the season where people really liked Iraola. This is now Silva's time to be in the spotlight for a month before the end of the season, when it all comes down to the Peps and your Klopps and your Artetas who get all the love. Everton getting beat by West Ham, and they're still having them issues with a striker. Beto got his second goal in Evertonshire, but after missing a penalty, saves by Areola. Areola had a great game, to be fair. He stopped a lot of good Everton chances, but Everton need to be taking chances better. At the same time, it is their own issues. Newcastle beating Wolves 3-0, a big strong performance from Newcastle. Livramento got a goal as well, which I quite like. I want to see Livramento trying to push into that right back argument. It would be nice, but he can also play at left back, the same way Trippier can, and he gives England a bit more depth in the full back positions. Anthony Gordon's on fire. Another person in the video last week when I spoke about England's 11, Gordon needs to be on that plane as well. Obviously, I don't think he'll be starting over the likes of Phil Foden, who'll be probably playing left wing, but Gordon definitely needs to be on the plane. And Wolves showing that they do struggle when they miss a few of the key players. Hwang and Cunha both missing, and no goals to show for it. And then the final game, the final of the 3 o'clock games, yeah, I was right. Spurs versus Palace, and then 3-1. Palace actually opened the scoring with an amazing Eze goal, but it is the late show again at Spurs, as in the last 15 minutes they grabbed 3 goals. Werner finally got on the score sheet, equalising. but Johnson was the man that you were speaking about with the 2 assists that he got. Spurs, continue getting these results when the results don't look like they're going to happen. So that shows signs of improvement, because it's usually where Spurs have stood up in the past. Luton versus Villa. Luton have this great fight about them, and I do love it. Villa were 2-0 up. Luton brought it back to 2-2, but it was just so unlucky. Digne in the last couple minutes or whatever scored and ends it. Watkins' form is really good. It's a strong game from Villa, but he's just really unlucky. I do really love the fight from Luton. I want to see it continuing. That's why I'd be happy with them staying in the league next year and seeing Everton go down and see what Everton do in the Championship, because I think it might help Everton out as well. And then on to today's game, well, yesterday's games. From today when I'm recording it, yesterday when you're seeing it. Burnley versus Bournemouth. Burnley looked really good this game. They just lacked that final bit. They dominated Bournemouth completely. 76% possession they had, but Bournemouth showed that they still have these strengths where we can finish it. They can finish it, and they're going to get these goals. And Bournemouth got the goals, and they won 2-0. And it just shows Burnley's problems. Still on 13 points, and basically Sheffield are down. We already know they're down. Luton, who people gave not a flying chance to this year, are the ones that look like they're going to be fighting to stay up, as they've got a fight about them. And then on to the big highlight game of the weekend, the Manchester Derby, the one that would be on everyone's lips to talk about. And it started off really nicely, to be fair. Rashford scored an amazing goal. It came out of nowhere. It was perfect. Onana doing what he does best and distributing the ball very well into Bruno. Bruno holding it up and then just laying it off for Rashford to absolutely smack against the crossbar. And for about 60 minutes, it felt, we can actually get a result here. And we had a few chances where we should have probably got a second, but just never managed to. And then Foden showed his form that he's been on all year round, and he got 2 goals. And then Haaland, man, he missed a great chance, but then got his goal as he does. I'm just not rating him recently. Really, I'm not rating him recently. That chance is one of the worst chances I've ever seen get missed, and it's just so lucky. I'm not getting into it. That might be next week's topic on Haaland. The team of the week, let's get into it. We're going to start in the net with Areola. I said he saved the penalty and he had a really good game. I know he conceded a goal, and he was only goalkeepers that had good games and didn't concede, but Areola saving that penalty and has been really strong against Everton, who are a team that are trying to fight. He just didn't allow them to fight. My 3 defenders, as I said, there's never really a formation to this. It's just 3-4-3, but we're going a bit random. The way like Garth Crooks does, if you see me have a series on my TikTok. My 3 centre-backs, 3 defenders, are Romero getting the winner, so to speak. Van Dijk, as he always, good, solid, clean sheet. That's a really good game, as he usually does. And then Livramento coming into the defence as well. As I said, he kept a good clean sheet, played a good game, and got a goal to show for it. That's a good team of the week, I'd say. Your midfield, I don't think you can argue any of these. Foden getting 2 goals, Cook getting 2 assists, Souček getting a wild goal, and then Wilson getting involved in the goals too. No arguments on the midfield. It's a weird midfield, It was definitely not a title winning midfield, but it's a midfield for sure. And then up front, more, might fight for a Champions League space with this top 4. Front 3, there we go. Gordon, Watkins and Johnson all having good games, as I said, as I've spoken about in these highlights. On to Europe. Well, not Europe straight away, because we're going down to the Championship first. And Leeds dropped points in a 1-1 draw to Huddersfield in that West Yorkshire derby. Leicester dropped points to QPR at home, a 2-1 win for a 2-1 loss. QPR win the game. Puts Ipswich 3 points off top of the league, and oh my god, I love Ipswich to win the league. Leicester have run away with it all year, but Ipswich to win the league. Ipswich still got to play Leicester as well, so it'd be a real vital game. Southampton end their bad run of losing a few games by winning 4-3 with a 96th minute goal against Birmingham, showing they're still in the fight to try and get that automatic promotion as well. And the top 4 argument in that for who's going to get the automatics is a real big fight in the Championship right now. But the relegation fight is insane. It's currently from 22nd to 16th, 2 points. 2 points separate someone getting relegated to someone finishing mid-table. That's wild. That is so wild to me. On to Europe now, though. We're going to La Liga, where we're going to start with Villarreal winning 5-1 against Genoa. Sorloth getting a hat-trick. I don't know if you remember Sorloth. He had a decent kind of fee for a few years ago, but mainly you know him if he was at Palace. Girona continue their fall. People was like hyping them up, yeah, they can fight on the season, but the players get too much attention. It's got to them, obviously, and they're just not going to continue with it. They might get Europe, but they're not going to win the league. Real Madrid, however, dropping points. They should have not dropped points, though. I'm sure you've all seen it on the internet this weekend on how Bellingham scored in the last minute, but instead he got sent off because the ref blew his whistle. And then you got angry about it, as you would get angry about it, wouldn't you? Like, if you've just scored the winning goal, but the ref blew his whistle while the ball is getting crossed to you, that is ridiculous. And he thought refereeing was bad in England. Imagine that happening here. It would kill us. It would just kill us off. Bundesliga, Bayern dropped points again. 2-2 draw with Freiburg. Freiburg, who have got a game with West Ham this week, would be an interesting one. Just getting points off Bayern there. And Leverkusen continue to win, with Frimpong and Grimaldo scoring the goals, and with it being both fullbacks, you can understand why Xabi Alonso is getting so heavily linked with the Liverpool job, the way he likes to play with his fullbacks. And there's quite a few big results, to be fair, in the Bundesliga this year, but in this weekend. But there's no need to speak about them because they weren't affecting the league that much. Ligue 1 onto now, and that is Brest continue to win to try and put the pressure on PSG as they drop points to Monaco in a 0-0 draw, but Brest continue to win. They got a 1-0 win, scraped by, but you know, it puts them still second in the league, trying to put as much pressure as you can onto a team like PSG. Lyon, you know, thought they found a bit of form, but no, Lens won 3-0 against them, with red card for Lyon as well. That's the real highlights from Ligue 1, as there's never much crazy there. Serie A time, and Juve dropped points to Napoli. Last year that wouldn't have been a highlight, but the way Napoli have been playing this year, that is a big highlight. Juve dropping off and leaving in to be able to go 15 points clear. 15 points, it's crazy. That's insane. That's Inter have won the league basically, because that's 5. They can lose 5 games and still win the league. Lazio versus AC Milan. Only ended 1-0 to AC Milan, but I thought I'd bring it that was a highlight because with 3 red cards in the game for Lazio. 3. Mental stuff. I feel like we've quite raced through the weekend highlight reviews, so without further ado, let's go on to the talk. And the talk this week is Manager Mayhem. I've listed it purely down to the fact of we already know there's quite a few clubs this summer going to be losing the managers or whatever, but it's going to be like an absolute domino effect on the market. We're going to start with, we know Barcelona and we know Liverpool are going to be losing their managers this summer, with Klopp leaving and then Xavi leaving Barca. It's going to open the doors for a load of new possibilities. I might start a new series on this, to be fair. I have thought about starting a new series on talking about each of these teams and what managers they need, but I need to talk about the domino effect it's going to cause, because the 2 main linked people to that Barca job and that Liverpool job, Barca is a lot of people saying Arteta, and I think that does really work, but I've got other options in my head, but I'll leave them to make the series, and you know, give a bit of surprise so you go watch the series. And then Alonso to Liverpool, as you've all heard, I don't think it'll happen, but there's other options. As I said, we'll talk about them. Bayern are also, you know, probably going to be looking for a new manager, with Alonso being hot on their radar. Chelsea can be probably looking for a new manager. I don't think Poch is going to last a year. Beginning with Tuchel and Jose a lot, which will be interesting. Bringing back an ex-manager who, you know, has won lots of things. So Chelsea fans have quite homed them, so it could be an interesting one. And then United potentially as well. I know there's a lot of rumours going around right now about Ten Hag's future, but I don't like hating on the manager. I don't like saying anything, but I'll probably just talk about it in the series that I do on this. But yeah, that would also, like, Arteta leaving at Arsenal would leave Arsenal needing a manager, and Arsenal's still a big club. Alonso leaving Leverkusen, who are currently playing really well and in a really good form, just won the Bundesliga, would leave them in position to try and get someone in. And Brighton as well, Brighton, who are really smart with who they bring in. I think they'll probably look at Hasenhuttl, you know. I think he had the right ideas at Southampton, it just never came to fruition. And then talking about managers that, like, are available or would be, yeah, let's talk about managers that are available. Jose Mourinho is available. Anyone should be hopping on that. Tuchel will probably be available at the end of the season if Bayern do get rid of him. Alonso isn't available, but he's on everybody's radar. De Zerbi is on everybody's radar the way he's playing. Xavi will be available. Then we get to the ones where they're not as high class as these. Graham Potter, Hansi Flick, Antonio Conte is quite a good one. Steve Cooper, Lopetegui, Van Nistelrooy, who I do quite rate. I think he had a good time at PSV. Van Bronckhorst, who had he's had a decent time. He got to the Europa League final with Rangers. I know he didn't win the league with Rangers. Celtic won the league, but he also won the league with Feyenoord in the Eredivisie, which is a difficult task to ask considering how much Ajax dominate the league and PSV dominate that league. Feyenoord are usually a third club to win it, but yeah, the Van Bronckhorst won it with him. Laurent Blanc, who recently was at Lyon, but obviously left. And then these two that aren't available, but I want to see get put in the conversation, and that is Thiago Motta from Bologna, who are playing really well this season. They're on like 4th in the league, and it's Bologna. Come on now, guys, got a win today as well. And then Inzaghi from Inter Milan, obviously, like, I'm talking about if we get rid of Ten Hag, I'd want Inzaghi. I would want Inzaghi. That would be the guy who I'd want on the shortlist. Someone who can play exciting football, and it's football that works in the Premier League. We've seen it work in the Premier League. The style he's playing, it scores a lot of goals. I know, and with a team that people on paper will go in, that's a dreadful team. How's it in Champions League final? Got to a Champions League final with it. So yeah, Inzaghi would be literally number one on my list to bring in as Ten Hag's replacement. If we do get rid of Ten Hag, obviously I wouldn't want to, because I don't like being hateful. I just don't like being hateful. But yeah, that is the weekend roundup. That's my little talk. As I said, I'll probably expand on this talk. It was just a pick out the hat talk. I'll probably expand on this in a series that I do, if I do a series, and talk about different aspects of why these managers would work and why they wouldn't work, and what they need to change, and how they play the team, and what players they want to bring in, and what players that might not be involved right now that would really work for their system. Just all this stuff and maybe more. But that will be something that I do soon, I guess. But I do thank you for watching, guys. If you liked the video, please leave a like. If you want to see more, subscribe, because there is this every week, and there's plenty more videos that are on the channel. Like, coming up on Wednesday will be my Europa League predictions alongside my Europa Conference League predictions, all rammed into one video. And yeah, and then obviously just, the casual talks about FPL and United. But yeah, thank you for watching, guys, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching, and cheers.